What's going on, everybody? To the channel. Appreciate you rocking with me, taking you with me on some garage sales today. The audio was all over the place, so I just decided to do a little bit of voiceover. Plus, it was really kind of a frustrating, at least start to the day. The first couple of sales we went to were kind of rough. This was supposed to be a community garage sale. It was supposed to start at 7 a.m., but like only one house actually started at 7 a.m. So I did a lot of waiting around for other places to, set up. And the whole neighborhood was packed. There were a lot of, pickers and resellers and stuff floating around. I actually got sniped on a couple of different sales because I, respected the fact that people weren't ready to start instead of just like pulling boxes out of their garage and just like flipping through them, on my own. The Star Wars trilogy, $10 is way too much to pay for it, but it does go for about $40 on a good day or an average day. The bonus disc in there has a documentary that's out of print. It's never been re-released. It's not on Disney Plus. There's a couple of sales there. Those figures you're seeing there on my phone, like $7, $8. A lot of those had like $12 shipping, so it was actually $30 to $35. Still not a great flip for $10. So you see that I put it back, but I ended up going back and getting it because at this point I was really getting skunked on what amounts to being the first like good garage sale day of the season. I saw this Cobalt battery charger. I don't know anything about it. This was like a month ago and I still haven't tested it, but for 50 cents, I'm going to take a chance on it. Those types of things are usually pretty easy sellers. So hopefully I do well with that. For 50 cents, I'm not really risking anything. This sale had some pretty decent stuff, but everything was pretty expensive. It was in a nicer neighborhood, so I wasn't too surprised that the prices were higher than I would like to see at a garage sale. But there's usually a bit of a trade-off that when the prices are high, they also have nicer stuff. They had good stuff, but I wouldn't say any of it was particularly nice. It was all kind of typical garage sale stuff, but with some atypical pricing, phone bases with no phones, cell phone cases for long obsolete cell phones, like this, most of the stuff is garbage. Taking a quick glance at games and puzzles as I try to do, there's rarely anything worth picking up, but every once in a while you come across something. The other thing was, as I said, the whole neighborhood was crawling and it was really difficult to get in to look at stuff. I don't know. I'm a pretty casual garage seller. I don't like to be, rushing and fighting and, having to squeeze around people all the time, particularly, still now. These types of electronics, I like to pick up. They usually sell pretty well, but you got to be careful. You got to make sure that they're not super obsolete. You got to make sure you're getting them for the right price. $10 into $30 to $40 is tough. For me, it's kind of right on that threshold of being not worth it. You're basically going to double-ish your money when it's all said and done. Checking to see if it's complete. It's there. Sometimes the box will be the new one that they bought and they'll shove the old one in there, but I'm just not digging it for $10. So I put that back. Me and this guy were talking. He was definitely a reseller because we were talking about, this technology sits on your shelf for too long and never sells. And it's obsolete by the time you get it home and all that. So just taking another glance, like this table kind of had everything that I like to look at. And so I kind of came back to it 3 or 4 times at the sale. Plus, the rest of their garage was just crammed with people. So I was just kind of hanging back, waiting for an opportunity. I was looking at this 90s trivia game just for me. I picked it up for a while, but I ended up putting it back. And I think the only other thing I got at this sale... Oh, I'm stopping. I'm back on the Star Wars. I'm stopping to check these discs. And this is a habit that I really need to get better at, is checking disc condition before I leave. I don't know why it's a struggle for me at garage sales. Like if I'm at Half Price Books or a used bookstore, I check the discs religiously, but for some reason at a garage sale, I just assume that they keep their stuff as well as I keep my stuff. And I've been burned many times. You should have seen by now a Facebook Marketplace pickup I did where I bought another DVD collection, and it turned out to not be very good. I mean, I made a little bit of money on it, but like every disc was just scratched to hell for the most part. So it was tough going. But yeah, the only thing I picked up is this Shark micro cleaning. Let's start over. This Shark micro cleaning pads. We're leaving that in. Whatever. 75 cents, I think it said on there, and they were new in box, so I don't know what those are worth, but they gotta be worth a couple of bucks anyway. So my hope right now is I can get a deal, right? I've got these 3 items. I'm going to try to cut a deal with her. I don't know. She quoted me 11 for everything, and I just paid it. And I realized after I left, that was like a 25-cent discount from the sticker price. But I guess the Star Wars thing wasn't hers. I probably should have just put it back, but there's a sunk cost fallacy. Like I've spent this time searching. I don't want to come out empty-handed for like the 3rd sale in a row, and the second. Probably at this point I've been out here for 2 hours already, and I've barely even started because they didn't have their stuff labeled correctly. I don't know, what am I looking? I'm looking at some real estate books, and you never know. Textbooks, sometimes there's good ones in there, but in this case it was, I think, 12 years old, and I'm not even going to look it up. So yeah, just taking one last glance over everything. There's a phone here. I'm thinking about it, but I've got 2 or 3 phones. I didn't even notice that I knocked that stuff down. I don't think I picked it back up, but I've got 2 or 3 phones sitting that haven't sold yet. I don't know. These things used to sell really, really well, but I think maybe it's dropped out a little bit. So I don't know, I'm just seeing if it's all in there. It is. They're in good condition. It's not a bad pickup, but I end up putting it back. I just don't want to deal with it. It's not fun. It's not a fun treasure find, so to speak. So. Yep. I just put it back right on top. Oh, I'm horrible. Flipping through this stack of DVDs every once in a while, I shouldn't say every once in a while, but there are discs out there that are worth money, even disc only. So, for half a second, I think at this point too, I was stalling. I was waiting for the lady to like stop for 2 seconds to see if she'd make a deal with me. And then, like I said, she basically didn't, but whatever. Paid $11, and I figure, I'll at least triple my money. Well, I guess I'll triple my money just on the Star Wars, but after fees and everything, I hope to triple my money on that. Look at that big old wad of cash. I was prepped. I was ready for garage sale day. I was ready to spend, baby. And I actually think in the end I did. I think this is going to go over a couple different videos, but I think I spent like $200 this particular day, which is a lot for me. I don't usually have that many sales to hit, but we found some good stuff. This was a really good sale. This was one where they were still setting up, so I went next door to the other one, and by the time I came back, they had sold everything that I was interested in picking up pretty much. This guy had a huge knife collection that I saw going out the door from a guy that I had spotted at like all over the neighborhood. He was one of the ones who was just pulling out boxes and just going through shit and throwing stuff everywhere. So I don't even know. Didn't even get to look at the knife collection, but at least the picture they had online seemed like it was probably pretty good. And if there was a deal to be made, they probably were worth quite a bit of money. I was intrigued by these Transformers VHS from FHE, Family Home Entertainment. If you're my age, you remember those video intros very well. They only wanted $5, and if the condition on the sleeves had been better, I absolutely would have grabbed it. I probably should have paid closer attention to this clothing table. I see that it's everything's $1 an item, but I just don't like dealing with clothes. But like that North Face probably would have been a good pickup, for instance. But my eyes glaze over whenever I see clothes. These bins on the floor are all Hot Wheels cars. He had a Hot Wheels collection. There was like 3 people fighting over, not literally, but sort of chomping at the bit to look through them. He didn't seem like he wanted that much for him, but I don't know anything about Hot Wheels, and I just kept it pushing. I'm like, I'm not even going to get into it. Stopped to look at this rifle to see if it was a BB gun or not. It was, so I'm not interested. And this is where the knives were, and I say, oh, there's a knife left. This is actually a really cool knife. It's ceremonial. I guess the guy was a pirate cosplayer, essentially, I think for the Seafair Festival in Seattle. But, you know, bone handle, Damascus steel, really cool looking knife, had a nice sheath to it. And then the guy's trying to sell me on these nunchucks. I like, okay, bro. I don't even know what this is. I guess I never looked at it. I don't know what that was. These models caught my attention though. They've all been opened, but they're all new inside, unpunched. Right out of the gate, he says he would take 40 for all of them, which I think was, or no, I guess he said 30 for all of them, which was like $10 off. And yeah, so I'm just checking to see. I mean, they're all complete. I don't, the outer plastic's been taken off, if it was ever plastic wrap to begin with, I guess. But inside is all complete. Boxes aren't in great shape, but they're not in bad shape. And like I said, models are pristine. So those are going to be a super easy sale once I get around to actually dealing with them. I bet that parts pack is worth money on its own too. I didn't even think about that until just this moment. But yeah, I'm definitely interested in those. Those are an easy sale. So yeah, okay, $30. So I've already pulled my cash out. I'm ready to buy. Definitely getting those models without question, but I'm still looking around. Saw a weird board game I'd never seen before. I always stop to look at these, you know, smaller run games, or at least they seem like smaller run games. This one wasn't worth anything. I actually comped a lot of stuff this particular day. You can see my cell connection is trash in this part of town. Yeah, I actually stopped to comp quite a few things this day. I just was coming across a lot of high-priced items. It's like, okay, well, just because they want a lot for it doesn't mean it's a bad price, and it doesn't mean it's worth anything. You know, it goes both ways. So, and then I just double-checked one of the models just to be absolutely sure that I wasn't making a huge mistake, and I'm not. So, you know, I'm grabbing those, and I think at this point I pick up the knife. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I do. I'm going to try to make a deal with the guy. He had told me what he wanted for the knife. I don't remember now what he said, but we ended up making a deal on everything for, I guess, $40, which I'll let you listen to the negotiation process because it was pretty funny. I'm also just taking another look at it. I'm like, okay, I'm pulling it off here. I'm going to go look at it more closely, you know, really look at the handle, look at the hilt, look at the blade. It's a really nice knife. I mean, I don't want to say it's a real knife. Like, it's not a functional knife. It's definitely ceremonial and decorative, but it's really well made. It looks fantastic. So I think we'll do really, really well with that at some point in the future. It's just really great shape. At this moment, he's talking to somebody about Hot Wheels and some other stuff. So I'm just kind of looking around, seeing if there's anything else I can throw on the pile here. Found these Patriots socks for 50 cents. So, you know, new in package. I figured, what the heck, that should be an easy sale. So we'll throw that on the pile, and yeah, just kind of looking around for stuff to kind of improve the bundle, you know, to make it a little bit better for me on a per item basis. But like, I'm even looking at shoes. Like, that's how deep I was getting into. I got to make this day worth it. I was into looking at shoes, and you guys know I do not do anything with shoes. Sure, would you do 40 on this stack here?
One more time?
40, the models, the knife, and the socks there?
Let's see, because I had said 30 for these 30, guys.
Yeah. And you originally had 20 on that.
20 for that.
Right.
So I might stick with 40, I think. You said 40.
I said 40, yeah.
40 is good.
Okay.
If that was my Freudian slip, worked.
That's all right. Let's see, there's 20. And there's no one. I appreciate you working with me.
Thank you.
Have a good sale.
Well, thank you.
It looks like you'll be done quick. Well, I don't feel any kind of way about it, but that happens with some regularity. Some people aren't good at math on the spot, and or sort of thinking on the spot. And in his defense, he was sort of getting overloaded from every direction. Like, his house was slammed with people. Once again, I'm looking at shoes, looking at cleats, looking at things like that. I think I even looked them up to see if there's any value, but Again, I just didn't want to deal with him. So, no fault for him. He was a good sport about it. And I was really happy with that deal for the $40. I wish I had stopped to look more closely at these board games, just because you never know. And it's usually pretty easy to kind of take a look and see. Every so often you find a game that's got some value to it, either on its own or parted out. But there was so much to look at this sale, and there was so much commotion going on. There were kids running all over that I think I just kind of zoned out a little bit. I did dip down here to look at these books. I've been buying a lot more books lately. In fact, I bought an entire book collection this particular day that you'll see in a later video. I don't know. I paid like 10 cents a book, and I'm going to lot them together at, what amounts to like $1 a book or something. So it's not huge dollar value. But you're getting 10 times your money, which is pretty good. So, you'll see that here, in a couple days. Typical garage sale stuff. This was definitely a family. The mom was there, and she had a couple daughters, and I think there was a son somewhere, and I don't know, her friends were there, and just a lot of like that kind of stuff. As you can see, a lot of teenage girl stuff. So not really anything for me, but I did spy this new open package sink top switch for a garbage disposal. And I figured that's got to have some value. I think that thing was $40 was my comp on it. She wanted 10, I believe, but we made a deal for 5. So I was really happy to pick that up. I think she just threw 10 out there and was more interested in getting rid of it than, necessarily getting every dollar. So she pretty quickly accepted the 5. I went ahead and paid her right away because at this point I thought I was done. But I did stop to thumb through the plush here. All that plush I got for free at that weird garage sale last summer. Almost all of it has sold, and it's sold for good money. I mean, like $10 to $15, $20 a piece. So, and more I'm looking through, bins of plush at garage sales. Anything new with tags, I'm stopping to look at. Obviously, there's certain, if it's something old, vintage, or really good shape, I'll look at it even if it doesn't have the tags. This bin of electronics caught my attention. Nothing really in there of particular interest, but I did grab this QI charger. I don't know that it was brand new in the box, but it definitely had not been used much. It might have been taken out and put right back in. I got this for myself. I've been wanting a contact charger since before I had a phone that could do it. So, sticker price on it was $40. I offered her 5, or maybe she offered me 5, and I jumped on it. I took it. And I've been using it a lot. I really like having that sort of just as an extra charger in the living room. You just throw your phone on it, it doesn't charge fast because it's only 15 watt, but it's cool and it's convenient. And so that was a cool little find. So happy with that. I took one more look at a couple of things that I'd kind of eyeballed but passed over, like the, I don't know what those are called, Sizzix or Stampin' Up or whatever, but I didn't end up not getting anything else. So that's going to be it for this one, guys. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining me on another garage sale video. Like, subscribe, share, comment down below, and I'll be back here in a few days with another couple of garage sales we hit. Appreciate you. We'll see you next time.